The story of Ruth and Naomi. In the days when the judges ruled Israel, a famine struck the land, and a man named Elimelech from Bethlehem in Judah left with his wife, Naomi, and their 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, to live in the country of Moab. Elimelech died soon after they arrived, leaving Naomi alone with her sons. Mahlon and Chilion married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth, respectively. However, about 10 years later, both sons also passed away, leaving Naomi without her husband and children. When Naomi heard that the Lord had visited his people in Judah and provided them with food again, she decided to return home. She urged her daughters-in-law to return to their families and remarry, blessing them with kindness and compassion. Orpah tearfully bid farewell to Naomi and returned to her people and her gods. But Ruth clung to Naomi, refusing to leave her mother-in-law's side. "Your people will be my people, and your God my God," Ruth declared, pledging her loyalty and devotion. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the townspeople were amazed to see Naomi again. "Is this Naomi?" they asked, and she replied, "Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty has made my life very bitter." To provide for herself and Naomi, Ruth went to glean in the fields, gathering leftover grain after the harvesters. By chance, she landed in a field belonging to Boaz, a relative of Elimelech's. Boaz, known for his kindness, noticed Ruth and greeted her warmly. Boaz instructed his workers to leave extra grain for Ruth to gather and even invited her to eat with him during mealtimes. When Ruth returned to Naomi with a generous amount of grain, Naomi realized that Boaz might be a potential kinsman redeemer for their family. Naomi devised a plan to encourage Boaz to marry Ruth and secure their family's future. She advised Ruth to approach Boaz at the threshing floor, where he would be celebrating the harvest, and ask him to spread the corner of his garment over her as a symbol of his willingness to be her kinsman redeemer. Ruth followed Naomi's instructions, and Boaz was touched by her loyalty and kindness. However, he mentioned that there was a closer relative who had the right of redemption before him. The next day, Boaz met with the closer relative at the city gate and proposed buying the land that belonged to Elimelech's family. The relative agreed to buy the land but declined to marry Ruth, fearing it might jeopardize his own inheritance. Boaz then took Ruth as his wife, securing her future and the continuation of Elimelech's lineage. When Ruth gave birth to a son, the women of Bethlehem rejoiced with Naomi, saying, "A son has been born to Naomi." They named the child Obed, and he would grow up to be the father of Jesse, the father of King David. Through Ruth's loyalty, faith, and the kindness of Boaz, God's providence and redemption shone brightly, ultimately contributing to the lineage of King David and the Messiah. Serves as a powerful reminder of God's love, care, and sovereignty in the lives of His people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share with your loved ones. Subscribe for more Bible study.